All right, here with Daniel Carr with Carr's Property and Maintenance. Daniel, thanks so much for being on here, man. I really appreciate it. Look forward to jumping into your business.
Yeah, I appreciate you reaching out, and I appreciate taking this time. I'm pretty pumped to see what we're gonna get into.
Sweet. If you'll just kind of tell us a little bit about you and how you started your business, where you're at with everything.
So my name is Daniel Carr. Like I said, I own and operate a fully maintenance landscape company. We registered LLC in 2024. I kind of just started it when I was like 15 years old and kind of going around asking neighbors, hey, can I cut your grass? It was kind of like the beginning of COVID. I had nothing to do. My dad was like, hey, why don't you just go make some extra cash on the side? I was like, all right. I was always hands on. I always cut my grass when I was like 10 years old. I was always big outside guy. I
Uh-huh.
always did that stuff. My dad worked in construction. My grandfather owned a huge construction company, and I was always watching them, bringing home the big trucks, going to their job sites, doing all that kind of stuff. And I just loved it. Loved it ever since I was a kid. I couldn't not imagine what I was going to do. So I also attended West Chester University in Pennsylvania. I played baseball there. I did my freshman year there last year. Currently dropped out this year. Didn't attend sophomore year because I wanted to go full time in business because I kind of loved it. I grew up playing baseball my whole entire life. It was very, 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 very hard decision, but
Yeah.
ever since I made the decision, I've never been happier. So made that hard decision, and I did that in 25, so last year.
Yeah.
So this 26 is going to be our first full year in business, and I would say I'm extremely pumped. Me and my team are getting really, really prepared to absolutely crush this year and kind
Nice.
of see what's going to bring.
That's awesome. Yeah, my background too, I didn't start, I mean, I remember cutting grass and stuff when I was a kid.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
my dad had a concrete, my family came from construction as well. My dad had a concrete
Oh,
business. So when I got out of high school, I think I was 17. I was like right when I turned 18, because I had a late birthday over the summer. I
mm.
think I moved down to Las Vegas where he was at and started working
Oh,
for his
wow.
concrete business. So that was good. I
That's
really
awesome.
appreciate it. I think I did construction for 7 or 8 years, and I really appreciated it. It teaches you a lot of resilience and hard work and all that.
Yeah. Get you in shape real quick. Real concrete works, no joke
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Landscaping's
Oh my
tough too, though. I mean, I'll give credit. Landscaping's tough too. Anytime you got a shovel in your hand, and I mean, pulling out trees, planting trees, stuff like that, that can
God.
be some hard work. Bending over, pulling
100%.
weeds.
Yeah, especially when it's like 95 degrees out, dude. Sweating. Oh my God.
Yeah,
It's absolutely brutal.
yeah.
But you gotta
I
love it.
mentioned the word resilience, and then I was thinking, I probably should talk to you about. I mean, you mentioned when we booked this that you have had multiple surgeries, and that's impacted you and maybe your business philosophy a little bit. So I'd love to hear about that.
100%. So when I was 7 years old, I was diagnosed with a rare hip condition called leg cavapearthus. Kind of like a brief overview. It's when your joint kind of loses blood circulation and kind of gets the size of a raisin's. Obviously your hip joint's nice and circular, just goes right into that socket, everything like that. That ball point got the size of a raisin, and I
Mm,
couldn't really walk. So we didn't really know what it was. We kind of traveled around to all different hospitals,
mm,
figuring out answers. Some people are like, we don't know what it is. Some people are like, oh, it might be this, might be that. But when we went to CHOP in Philadelphia, Dr. Woodolph Sankar was the man. He knew right away. He's
mm.
like, look, you have a rare condition. Only like 1 in 100,000 kids have it. They get it around the age of 7 to 12, and here's kind of the process you're gonna have to go through. And like I said, he put my life in a direction that I never thought it would go. And he even told me, he's like, look, when you're 40 years old, you're still gonna be coming to me. I get we're a child hospital, but like I'm not gonna let you see anyone else. Like I've been working on your body your whole entire life. It's not gonna stop. So I mean,
Mm.
I'm gonna be a 40-year-old going to this guy and getting checkups. I
Okay.
mean, I'm probably gonna need a hip replacement in 5 years, 10 years, unfortunately,
Hmm.
but it is what it is. And I had a major hip surgery when I was 7 years old. They kind of went in there, put plates and screws in. I actually still have them. He gave them to me. I have them in my
Oh yeah.
closet. So I think that's pretty cool. Got the blood circulation going back in. I couldn't run or jump for 2.5 years.
Oh
So
wow.
thinking from a parent's perspective, my mom and dad had to handle me and be like, "Look, dude, you can't run and jump for 2.5 years." And as technically, I guess coming on 8 years old now, so from 8 to 10, I couldn't do any of that. So I
Oh,
was
that's
always on the
rough.
sidelines, even though I didn't have crutches. I was in a wheelchair for maybe like a week,
Okay.
maybe a month after my procedure. I was in crutches for I think like a year and a half, and I had to sleep in a brace that had my legs spread out like that,
Oh wow.
and it was Velcro. So all the time, in the middle of the night, I'd freaking rip it open and
Uh,
do all that stuff. My mom would have to come in and strap my legs back in, and then we've had we had that. It went pretty smooth. We had the surgery again that took everything out. I think it was like I was in and out patient, nothing crazy. That didn't heal all the way. There was like a little bit of a chunk that kind of didn't surface back in. We had that. Kind of talked to him about it. He's like, look, that's nothing crazy. If it bothers you, just like let me know. But I'm not really too worried about it. And I am a very, very, very competitive person. So I was in high school, senior year, playing volleyball, and I'm that kid that goes all out. Like I was from an athlete family. My parents all played sports. It's like, all right, like I gotta win. I gotta do it all. So we're playing volleyball, and I jump up and I land awkwardly, and like I felt like a click in my leg, and I was like I kind of took a step and I couldn't walk, and all of a sudden like it was fine. I was like, all right, I didn't know what that was. I didn't make a big deal about it. Kind of went on about it. Again, my competitive stupid head did it again, jumped up, landed the same exact way, and like I just went down to the ground. Like my hip was in excruciating pain. I was like, dude, like what is it? Like I thought I dislocated my hip. I couldn't walk. I couldn't get up. I got wheeled to the nurse, and my nurse actually grew up with me. She went to my elementary school, so she knew exactly what I had and exactly what it was. She's like, look, we're gonna have your dad come in, like you're gonna go home, like you gotta leave, like you can't be here. So went to the ER that's close to me. They did an X-ray. They're like, look, I don't really know what's wrong. I'm like, look, I'm telling you right now, there is something wrong, and it is not normal. They're like, well, here's your X-ray. Like nothing doesn't seem wrong. So I was like, all right, I'll just send it to my doctor. So to send it to Dr. Sandcar to have him take a look. I think he called me the next day, and he was like, look, that piece that I was worried about unfortunately popped out of that socket, so you kind of have just a piece of cartilage kind of floating around in your joint. So here's kind of two options. We can either go in there and do something called a scope, which they just drill 3 holes, go into the camera, take that piece out, and then kind of smooth out the joint so you'll have like a little curve, nothing crazy. Option 2, we cut you open, kind of break, it sounds cruel, but break your bone, pop it out to where you can put that cartilage piece back in there, fuse it back together so you have that nice round shape, and do all that. So the difference in time frame was 3 months for the scope and 6 months for the cartilage. So we chose the cartilage because that was kind of the safer option. The thing that sucked, that was prime recruit time. So I think I was going into junior summer, and I was getting recruited pretty high D1 by like St. Joe's, VCU, a lot of like Villanova. I was getting recruited by pretty big schools. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, it is what it is. Like, I'm going to take the hit. It's fine. I go 6 months, and then by then, I think my senior year in school just started. At the moment, I have not committed yet. This could be sophomore summer going into junior year. I haven't committed anywhere yet. So we start practice, and this is month 7, and I'm practicing, and I'm running down the line, and all of a sudden, I felt that pain that I felt in volleyball, but it wasn't nearly as bad. So like, all right, like, great. Like, I was walking fine, but I let my mom know. I was like, hey, Mom, I kind of had that pain again. She was like, all right, like, I'm going to get you checked out right away. Like, we're going to go straight to Dr. Sandcar this time, get it looked at. And then he, I think, called my dad a day or two later, and he's like, look, I just want to say I'm really, really, really sorry. Like, that piece came back out. Like, I don't know what to do. I feel awful for Danny. He just wasted 8 months. Like, he's got to do, like, the only thing we got to do is, what we're going to do is we're going to go in, do the scope surgery, take it out, and kind of just smooth that piece in. But he's like, look, I just want to apologize. Like, he was, I've never seen him more upset in my life. Like, he was just so sad. And obviously, like, I was frustrated, but you got to think, like, it's not his fault. He doesn't know what's going to happen. He just makes the best decision from his experience. Yeah. So, like, you can't be mad at him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we did that. I was knocked out for 3 months. That completely screwed up my recruiting. Like, I didn't, like, lose ever. I basically lost all of my recruitments except maybe a couple, but what are you going to do after a kid that had two more hip surgeries? He's like, all right, you can't trust someone like that. So we went. Then when everything was done, we were kind of like in the summertime now, and my dad was like, hey, just go to a baseball camp and like see how it is. I was never a huge fan of baseball camps, but I was like, all right, like I literally have nothing to lose, just might as well go do it. So it was called a PSAC tournament. So it's all Division II, so like Kutztown, Shippensburg, Westchester, all East Stroudsburg, all the schools were there. So it's like, all right, I'll see how I do. So I went there. It was a 2-day tournament. I did really, really well. I hit a home run. I hit really well. I topped out at 90 miles an hour, and I got basically an offer from every single school there. So like, all right, like I'm back in the recruitment game. The hip's doing fine. So I chose to go to Westchester University, and it was a very good choice. I love the coaches that I kind of got coached by. It was either Shippensburg and Westchester were the two I was really, really thinking about going to, but I wanted to stay local. Westchester's like 20 minutes away from my house. Okay. So we did that. And then, funny enough, we did my freshman year, and then summer I ruptured my appendix. So we were out working, and I got home, or we got back to the shop, and I was telling my guys, I'm like, look, dude, my stomach's killing me. Like, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what is going on with me, but my stomach is going crazy. Like,
Yeah.
all right, like I wasn't acting over dramatic. Like, people have stomach pain, they got to use the bathroom, whatever. Like, I
Yeah.
get into my house, I sit on the couch, my face turns green, I have a 102 fever. I'm like, dude, I don't know what is
Oh,
going on
yeah.
with me. So then my stomach's the size of a balloon. It feels extremely bloated. I can't use the bathroom. I can't do nothing. I'm like, dude, what is going on with me? I thought I had like food poisoning, whatever. My mom was kind of like skeptical about it, but she's like, look, you might just have a stomach bug, just like see how it goes. So this was Friday. We waited till Sunday. I was like, all right, like it hurt to touch, but the pain was gone. Let's go to the ER, kind of see how things plan out. Went there. We sat in we went to the Paley Hospital because we live right next to it. We were in that ER for I think like 10 hours. It was awful. That was my first time ever in an ER, and it was so long.
Mm-hmm.
Got blood work, got a CT scan, I think, and then kind of heard the news. They're like, "Hey, look, like your appendix is really inflamed. It looks like it's about to rupture. Like you have appendicitis. Like we got to get you in right away and get surgery. Like you're not leaving." So I was like, "All right, great." So we went to the room around like 6 p.m. Waited there till like 10 o'clock, and the surgeon finally comes in. And he's like, "Look, like I don't like we've had 4 appendix people come in. Like this is I don't we don't think we'll be able to get you in until Monday." I'm like, all right, great. I gotta stay here overnight and all that kind of stuff. And then he comes in at like 12 o'clock. He's like, all right, look, we can get you in. Like you're going in now. So I was like, all right, great. So went in, had a great successful surgery. I think it was only like an hour long, nothing crazy. And he actually came back to me next morning. He's like, look, like your appendix actually ruptured when you were in the hospital. So I'm really glad you actually came
Yeah.
at this time because if you were home and this appendix ruptured, like who knows what could have happened. I've heard stories where people die off of ruptured appendixes. So I was like, oh, great. I'm
Mm.
glad I went. I'm glad I went when I went. So
Right.
that was another thing. So I think in total I think I've had around like 6 surgeries. Like I said, I'm gonna need a hip replacement, unfortunately, probably
Yeah.
in the next
Yeah.
like 5 to 10 years. But I mean, I'm a big guy and everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't take anything for granted. Like other people be like this sucks. Why does this happen to me? And kind of like beat themselves down from it. But like I just use it as motivation. You know what I mean? It's like what you can't control. You can't control it. Like I can't control the hip surgeries I've had. I can't control that I got diagnosed with this rare disease. I can't control I've had appendicitis. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah.
So I kind of just use all that kind of stuff to kind of push me forward, push me each and every day to do better and better, kind of get 1% better each and every day. That's kind of the way I look at it. Whenever I'm feeling down, I'm like, all right, like what have I been through? Can a normal person go through this and be where they're at now? Like you've done so much already, like why quit now? So like whenever I feel down and want to quit, it's just like why? After what you've been through, why would you do that?
Yeah, for sure.
So
So you've had to, I mean, especially, I mean, even as a young kid, fairly young, being there, having your legs velcroed, strapped in, it's like
yeah,
you've had to learn some like mental toughness over time, right? Like this sucks, but I just have to, like, I can get through it. Like you've learned more than a lot of people that you can get through things. It might suck for a while, but you'll come out on the other end and be all right. So I imagine
yeah,
that helps when you have some sort of setback in any part of your life, but including your business, right? Like you have
oh,
a bad day,
100%.
something falls out, some deal falls
Yeah.
apart, whatever it is. That's got to be some. You've built up some resiliency in your mind as a business owner. So you said you started
Mhm.
your business in 2024. Is that right?
Yeah, that's when we registered as an LLC,
And
correct?
then did you start with help, or did you get help as you went?
So we were always kind of like a buddy organization kind of thing. Like I was like, hey, like all my friends, like, hey, you want to work extra, make some extra
Yeah,
cash? Oh
yeah,
yeah, great, like let's do it. So we probably did that. Basically all of like I don't know, like 2020 to 23 when I wasn't a legit business. It was just like me and one other guy. We'd cut like 10 properties. 24, we still were with friends. And then early 25, we hired our first full-time employee. And then we also had a friend as well. So we had technically 2 guys. And then this past couple months, him and I kind of broke apart. He's my best friend. So like we have no hard feelings at all. But I was kind of talking to him. I was like, look, I don't want to involve friends in my business anymore. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I have nothing to complain. It's just kind of a thing where like friends think they can kind of get the edge over you, get more money, all that kind of stuff. So like, all right, like I'm gonna kind of transition into more of like a legit business. You guys kind of do your own thing. Like let's just stick to having a friendship and kind of going about that way.
yeah,
Now we have 3 full-time guys, and like I said, friends are out of it. Whenever I need help, I always call. Like I said, my best friend that we parted ways from. I always talk to him advice like, hey, you think I should do this? Like you worked for me for a year and a half. Like what do you think? All these kind of things.
yeah,
But yeah, it was me and like a buddy thing all the way up to like late 24, early 25. Then we kind of hired our first time guy, And then this past couple months, him and I parted ways, brought in 2 more full-time guys, and going into the 2026 season, we have 3 full-time guys, and then we have a virtual assistant going into that.
Oh,
So,
sweet. Okay.
yeah.
So do you guys go out like in the same truck, or do you split up, or how do you kind of run your operation there?
It all depends on the job. Like we actually just purchased our 3rd work truck. So we just bought a 2026 XL Ford F250. We have that truck. We have an F350 dually, and then we have my personal truck, which is an F150 Lariat. That's my absolute baby. It's a 2012.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, no matter what I can afford, no matter what I can get, I'm never selling that truck. That truck I will drive that thing until it's dead, until I
Yeah.
can physically not drive it anymore. I'm a big guy on like spoiling my guys before I spoil myself. Because when I spoil myself, that literally does nothing for me. It just makes you look cool. When I spoil my guys, they show up to work like, dude, I get to drive this nice truck, all these kind of
Yeah.
things. So we did that. But I mean, and it all depends on the job. Like we're big on snow right now. So like we just got slammed with a 12-inch snowstorm a week
Oh
ago.
yeah.
We had both trucks out. We have plows on both trucks. Like I was in one truck, and my father, which actually was helping out because he wanted to get in there because he can't sit still. So like he didn't have work. He's like, yo, can I work? I was like, of course.
Yeah.
We had him in the new truck, and yeah, I mean, like I said, all depends on the job. But the goal is this year is to have guys in both trucks and have both trucks out 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. That's the goal, but it all depends on the job.
Yeah, so I'm curious about your goals, and that it works well. We're kind of just barely into 2026, February 2nd right now. What are your goals for 2026, and what's your plan to achieve them?
Goal for 2026 is to have the first thing is to have the guys working all Monday through Friday.
Uh,
That's the goal. 2025 was kind of iffy, just like kind of quote unquote going full time with it ever since I dropped out. It was kind of like 2 days, 3 days a week. Maybe some days we're getting 5 days. My goal is at least 4 to 5 days a week, just because like I'm getting more money in their pockets, and
yeah,
then we're also growing as a company. So that's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is to kind of just have like a very healthy work environment. Like like the biggest thing I harp on with guys when I was doing interviews is like I just want you to show up and be happy. Like some people dread their job, but they do
right.
it to make money.
Yeah,
Like I don't want you to do that. Like I absolutely, I wake up early and I am excited to go about every single day, no matter how crappy of a day I had before, because I love what I do. I
yeah,
absolutely love it. I want you to feel the same thing. Obviously, there's some days where you're not going to want to cut grass in 95-degree heat. I understand that, but I'm going to do everything in my power to give you guys a crap ton of water, give you guys Gatorade, give you guys, snacks. But that's a big goal, is just like making them happy and making sure my guys are pleased no matter what. Like obviously, you might get into some bickerments here and there. Like they might not do a good job. Like you don't expect them to be 100%
yeah,
every single day, but just like working through that. A third goal is kind of increase that revenue from last year, just because the expenses we're bringing on. Like I said, we brought in a brand new
yeah. You
truck.
got
We moved
trucks, you
into a
got
new
people.
shop. We have around 1,000 square foot inside, and then we have a whole parking lot.
Okay.
That's the first thing. I think we got that a couple months ago, so that upped our expenses. Like so, we need to bring in more revenue for that. But I would just say those are the 2 main goals, is just like having a healthy work environment and basically keep the guys working, and then on the back end, like me and my virtual assistant kind of just like keep the systems going, knowing your numbers. The numbers was a big thing that we needed to figure out, and that's kind of how you want to operate your business. Like you want to know what your business is charging you per hour. And from a lot of mentors I am close with, I was able to get meetings with a couple of them and help them tell me like how can I figure out my hourly rate? Like how much money do I have to charge to send out a guy? Each guy needs to be at this amount of money in order
Sure.
for my business to make money. If not, my business is losing money. So being able to know my numbers was huge for me. Like I feel like I've unlocked a whole new thing when it comes to business, because I feel like I'm not guessing anymore. I was big into like guessing, like, oh, okay, I'll maybe charge $100 for this, maybe $200. Like I had no clue. I was just throwing a number out
Yeah,
there. Now I know like it's this number and it needs to be this number. Like if you don't like it, we can maybe take some things off that job to lower the price, but like I simply can't go below that. It sucks because I'm a big guy on like helping people out
right. Yeah.
and like doing a job for a little bit cheaper, but it's like at a point some like you can't not make money. My
If you're not
grandfather
making
was big
money,
on
then you can't help anybody because you'll be out of business.
exactly. My grandfather that owned that construction business, he was like, "Look, I could sit in my bed and make no money. I'm not going to go out I'm not going to go out,
Right.
work my butt off and make no money." You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's a big motto quote I live by from
Yeah.
him, is that you can lay in bed and make no money. So why would you go out and waste your time and make money?
Yeah.
So
You get the
that's a
rare
big thing.
people that are like just want to go be out and do stuff. But yeah, I think we
Yeah.
all show up to work to make money, right?
Oh,
There's
100%.
a lot of other
100%.
additional benefits, and you do get to help people. But yeah, you got to keep the lights on, and yeah. But that's huge. I mean, data analytics and knowing Knowing your numbers is super important, right? I mean, I think probably most business owners are just kind of winging it and they really haven't spent the time to figure out what they actually need to be charging and just running the hard numbers on every aspect of their business.
100%.
So how are you generating most of your new business? How do people find you?
So we just recently got big on SEO work, which is Google work. So like if you search up landscapers in Malvern, I think we actually rank in the top 10, which
Awesome.
is huge. I think we started this a couple months ago. My social media team is absolutely amazing. They're based out of Westchester, and I couldn't be more happy with them. And they've helped me build up. They built me a website. I made one. It was a crappy website. I built it myself. So
Yeah.
I kind of paid them to make a nice website. They run our Instagram, they run on Facebook, they run our LinkedIn, they do all those kind of things. And I mean,
Cool.
I've seen an extreme amount of growth from them. I've been extremely happy. I mean, we try to post on Facebook. Our goals between like 2 to 3 posts a week, maybe more. Posting on the stories, posting in general, and just, like, getting reviews. Reviews are a big one. I think we have 67 5-star reviews
Yeah.
on Google. Our goal is 100 within the next like month or two. But a big one is Google. Like this past snowstorm, I think we were getting 20 calls a day on residential work. It just sucked because we're strictly commercial for snow, just because of A, the money, and B, sometimes dealing with snow residents it's difficult
Oh,
just because like they'll have you on a list of like, hey, come out this time, but then they'll text you in the morning like, oh, I actually don't need it done. It's like, all right, like we had you on the route, but then now we're not coming out, all that kind of thing. So like I couldn't deal with that headache just because our one commercial site, like we're not able to leave until it is completely done. It's an apartment complex,
uh-huh.
and they're very strict. They're like, look, like you gotta, it's gotta be blacktop 24/7. Like I can't have people slip and fall. And it's like makes complete sense. It's just like I don't have for my company size, like I can't send out a second crew to go do residentials, and the residential isn't great money wise.
Hmm.
Commercials is completely night and day money wise for sure.
Is it?
But I
Yeah,
would say
that makes sense.
Google's a big one, and kind of social media, and then I guess a little bit of word of mouth. But when it comes to business, I don't know how people rely on word of mouth. I could never. But we're hoping to get to that point where like we're not crazy invested into the Google side. Let that run itself, and then kind of just like let the work talk.
When you say Google site, do you mean paid ads or do you mean just people searching
So we pay for
like
SEO
SEO?
work.
Yeah.
So we pay for SEO work. I don't know. I'm not a big geek when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like I said, I trust my guys to kind of just like, take care of it. But from what I understand, is they're just making pages on on our website for us that kind of gets us all over in like the Berwyn, Malvern, Westchester area that's local to me, and kind of just get you higher ranked
Yeah.
on Google. I don't think we do ads itself. We've ran Facebook ads. Like we're gonna run a Facebook ad in the spring just for like mulching and all that kind of stuff. Right now, just because it's new, like, SEO work takes a long time. I think it can take up like 8 to 12 months to get going. And the fact that I think I'm on month like 6 and we're ranked so high is great just because I'm so heavily invested into it. I mean, we dump hundreds of dollars a month into these people. So once we're in a really good spot, so like our goal is to rank top 5, top 3 of every single day. Like Google changes like this. Like Google's here in a second, and you're there in
Yeah.
another second. So like just floating between that 5 to 3. Like all right, we're in a really good spot. Let's back down the budget a little bit, kind of focus more on the investment into the workflow side, and then if we need to pick back up on SEO, we can.
Yeah.
But right now is the biggest investment side for Google for sure.
So like how would you summarize the impact of SEO on your business, of doing SEO
Oh,
work?
unbelievable. I mean, like I said, like all those calls we got are from mainly the Google side. We're starting to get leads from our website. Like we just got a commercial bid this morning that he filled out our form on our website and texted me, and we have a schedule for Thursday. I would have never had that because I didn't. My old website didn't have like a form to where you can fill it out, and then send it right to my email. And now, like I said, we had our Google verified, which we never had. So like people couldn't even see my Google page until he told me about it. So now he can see us. We're ranked on Google. We're getting calls from Google, and like people are actually seeing us online. So like that's our big one. And if I never did SEO work, I'd have never had any of this done. And I don't even know where I would be at. I
Yeah.
definitely wouldn't be here. That is for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, good to hear. A lot of businesses don't realize the impact of that stuff, and it's really not that complicated, but a lot of people don't do it. The reviews and having the good online presence with Google. It's
Yeah.
what's been the hardest part of running your business that people on the outside don't usually see?
You're working 24/7. I mean, I think a lot of people realize like being a business owner, you work a lot. Some people just see it's like, oh, you make so much money, all these kind of things. It's like, look, like you can go months where you don't make a single dollar. Like there might be months where I don't make any money, and like that's like, I still got to pay my guys. I still got to pay the bills like that.
Hmm.
They don't care if I don't make any money. But at the end of the day, you run that risk of not making any money and working all the time. I don't complain about it because I absolutely love it. Like I'll be in the office till 1 a.m. I don't care if it needs to be done. It needs to be done. But that's the biggest thing is like I'm working all the time, and I've had to sacrifice a lot of time with my friends, not being able to see them, my girlfriend not being able to see her, and like, look, I just got to work. And they're like, oh, you're so young, dude. Like, what are you doing? Like, these are the most precious times of your life. I'm like, I just don't look at it that way. I was never a big party guy. I was never a big drinker. Like, I was never into that. So like, I was okay missing those things. The thing that was just like hanging out with friends was a big one, but like I didn't care too much about the drinking and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't me. So like I was okay with missing that party time and just working on something that's gonna grow my business and do all these things. It's like that's the biggest thing is just like working nonstop, like all
Yeah.
the time. So like the biggest thing is like workflow balance was something I really took into account this year. Like spending more time with my family, spending more time with my girlfriend when need to be. Like I'm really not going to push off that workload though. If I have to, I will for like special occasions, like if we're going to dinner, if we have like someone's birthday, like something like that. But really just like working nonstop. But big thing is like creating systems to where like I'm not working my absolute butt off. The business is kind of running for itself. And
Yeah.
I know I'm so young into the business, that's not going to happen. But seeing mentors, talking to a lot of people and seeing how they've run their business, like, all right, like I want to get to their business because they look like they are absolutely living the life. They have all these employees and they don't look like they have a stress in the world. But they have people, they have systems in place, they have people in place that know what they're doing, and it's running a business. So
Hmm.
that's the goal. But right now, that's just not going to happen. Maybe in a year or two it might. But right now, for being how young I am and how young of a business I am, it's just you just got to put your head down and work, work, work. And the more you put into it, the better you're going to get out of it. That's always the way I look at it.
Yeah. So how old are you right now?
I turned 20 years old and I turned 21 this July.
Oh, okay. July what?
Yep, July 20.
Okay, mine's the 18th.
I know a lot of people with July birthdays. A lot of people with
Yeah,
July
my
birthdays.
son's also July birthday. Well, I
Me and my
mean,
dad.
so you basically, I mean, you decided to take a big risk. You dropped out of school and you said, I'm gonna go in on my business. And so you're the point where like I'm taking this seriously. Like I decided to stop that educational piece, which may have opened up opportunities in the future. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to control my destiny, but I know I'm gonna have to work hard at it, right?
Yeah.
And you're scaling. It sounds like you're doing a lot of right things. Like you have mentors in place. You're building. Like what has the value been of just straight up hiring employees? Like what's the value of hiring employees? Was it scary to do that? What made you make that decision, and how has it benefited you?
It was absolutely terrifying because I've always been a guy that's been my friends. Like, all right, like I can joke around with these guys. Like, I'm hiring a guy that I've never met in my life. But I made sure when the hiring process, like, I want to hire guys that are better than me. Like, my laborers, all three of them, are way better landscapers than I am. And I can confidently say that. That's what I want. I want them to teach me, but I can also teach them at the same time. So it was absolutely terrifying because I'm bringing on an absolute stranger. Like I'm feeding I'm feeding their families right
Yeah.
now. Like I sometimes like saying that scares me again, but it's like I'm literally putting food on their plate and like it is my responsibility. So that pushes me to even work harder because like I'm feeding families now. I don't have a family. I still live with my parents just because I'm 20 years old. I'm
Yeah.
gonna probably stay here hopefully for like another year or two. And then I'll probably get my own house. But like I still like I'm kind of taking on responsibilities like feeding myself. I go grocery shopping, like buying my own food and doing all these things. But I mean, I've never been happier when it comes to getting these new workers just because, like I said, they know what they're doing, so I can trust them. Obviously, we're bringing on two new guys, so we haven't seen them do too much landscaping yet. So it'll be a little bit of a transition in the beginning. But I already know in a couple weeks, like they're gonna be able to do their own thing, and I'm gonna be strictly managing and doing all those things because my thing I'm prioritizing right now is strictly sales. Like that's
Sweet.
what I value the most in my business is sales. Like I have the work side figured out. They take care of the work. If I need to step in, I will. But the sales part is the biggest thing, and that is the biggest part that's going to grow my business. And my virtual assistant she does all like our invoicing, our estimates, emails, and all that kind of stuff. And we're at the point where like I'm still helping her out. I'm still sending her a bunch of stuff. But then hopefully in a month or two, she has that on lock. Like she knows everything what to do. I basically just tell her, hey, you got to do this. Boom. She knows what to do and it's
Awesome.
done. I'm like, all right, like great. Like now I feel like I'm getting to that point to where like the business is starting to do itself and I still got to be present, but like I'm not beating myself up every hour of the day and not stressing more than the normal person. Don't get me wrong. I'm a very, very, very anxious human being. So I do get stressed.
Yeah.
That's my unfortunate flaw. But over the months and years, I've really, really learned, and from surgeries, just how to calm yourself, like realize everything's gonna be okay. There's like, you're not gonna die. No matter what happens, it's okay.
Yeah.
So like, that's something I always tell myself is like, no matter what happens, you'll be fine. Like, you're not gonna die.
Yeah.
If something happens, you're okay. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. But hiring the employees, oh my God, I'm so pumped to see what this 2026 brings with having guys that actually know what they're doing. My one guy has 40 years of experience. It's like he has more experience than me, literally times two. So
Yeah.
it's like, all right, like what is he going to bring to the table? So I'm super pumped.
Yeah, that's awesome. It sounds like you're building more automations and systems in place. Your VA helps you do a lot of that. What's
Yep.
been like one of the biggest things that's been helpful for your business that you've automated or built a system around, say in the last 6 months or to a year or whatever?
Definitely using our CRM. So we use our CRM called Yardbook that takes care of our scheduling, invoicing, estimates, and being more serious with that. Before I would never, like, I didn't know what the heck that was. I just do pen and paper and just like,
Yeah.
okay, here's all the addresses. What am I going to do today? So we have a strict schedule. All of our guys have it. They clock in and out. They can see their timesheets. Our VA goes in, puts it on a list, sends it to our accountant, and we're doing payroll this year, pay our guys every single week, every single Friday. And with those systems, I mean, if you don't have systems, you can't run a business successfully. If you don't know your numbers, you can't run a business successfully. You can, it only will take you so far, but you won't be able to go to that next level if you don't have systems in place. And having systems in place, being really organized, my biggest thing is organization, and having our invoices organized, estimates organized, who hasn't paid yet, following up with those payments, making a strict schedule, and doing all these things, like, is crucial. Like I said, we have that Yardbook, we have that CRM, but we also use Google Sheets, and Google Docs are big for us. Like, our VA uses Google Sheets, I think, and kind of has each name, how many hours they worked for the week, our total, what to send out to the accountant, sends it right out, draws it out of the account, and we're ready to go for next week. Any notes we have, like if I ever have to make her tasks, go into Google Docs, I don't know, write up a paragraph or two, this is what you got to do. She takes care of it for the week, and just having all those organized in like a Google file as well, so she can see them and go back on them. I made a lot of Zoom videos for her, so I would just, like we're doing here, but like say you weren't here, I share my screen, literally talk it over like I'm talking to her, that she's right here, send it to her, she can go back and see it whenever she wants. So like really over explaining to her and to my team, because I'm a big guy to where like I might hear you once, but I maybe need to hear it again. And my dad always busts my balls about it all the time. He's like, bro, I just said it. I'm like, sorry. Sometimes it takes me a little longer to comprehend things. So like I try and tell them like, look, like ask me as many questions as you want, because like I am the same person where like I'll ask you 100 questions. So like please do not be afraid to bug my phone with questions. So it's been great. She texts me all these questions. I'm like, dude, like you might think you're bugging me, but I absolutely love it, because like you care and you're trying to learn. That's my biggest thing. It's the systems is taking the business to the next level, and I'm excited to see where it takes us.
What were you studying in college?
Business management.
Okay. Yeah, dude, I'm excited for you because I mean, I was gonna say you're learning more by doing than you would in business school or getting your bachelor's in business. I mean, there's things you can supplement through reading books, but you don't need to sit through and pay the university and all that to get the education. Like you're gonna be leaps and bounds around anyone your age, anybody graduating. Like your peers, like dang, they graduated, they got their degree, and you're gonna have a little bit of FOMO. But they're going to be coming to you to ask questions when they actually need to make real business decisions. I mean, books are helpful. I've done plenty of schooling myself. I have an MBA, but actually running a school or running a business rather, dude, you're going to learn so much more, and doing it at a young age. Like you're going to be so much further ahead. So you're already doing a lot of things that people don't start doing till further down the road. You've got an accountant in place. You've got a VA in place. It takes risks to like navigate all that and to figure out what decisions to make, figure out how to hire people, and fear that you're going to hire the wrong person. Start to build more and more systems, invoicing, payroll, HR. I mean, all the different stuff that you're doing, dude. You're going to be doing super well. So I'm really excited for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
As we kind of wrap this up, if you were to start from scratch again today, like what would you, what would you do different starting like? Let's say you're starting your business February this year. How would you start it differently?
I'm not gonna lie. I've seen Instagram and like all these podcast people ask them this question. I'm like, oh, one day I'm gonna be asked this question. Like, what am I gonna say? So I would say if I were to get started this year, the first thing I would do is just like get systems in place. Obviously, I don't know. We'll say I'm starting with $100, $150. Like I'm starting with nothing. It's just like going around, like using social media to your advantage. I mean, like now, like AI, all these kind of things. Just like make an introduction post on Facebook. Say, hey, we'll say, hey, my name's Daniel Carr. I'm 15. I'm 21 years old. I'm starting my landscape thing. I no longer go to college, doing all these things, and like you'll realize like some people think, oh, this dude, what is this dude doing with his time? Other people, like, you'll get blown up with, like, parents, like, older people that want to support you.
Yeah.
You do a couple things maybe, like, for free. I know we were big on, like, not making any money, but, like, to get your name out there,
Sure.
if you do 5 clients for free, cut the
Yeah.
grass, like, oh, this 21-year-old worked his butt off, he did it for free, like, all right, let me recommend him to another person. It's just, like, going around, knocking on people's doors, being like, hey, can I cut your grass for $20? And I'm just starting out, like, I want to get into the business and all these kind of things. It's just like really, and also being consistent. Like you're not going to go anywhere if you're not consistent. Like if you work on it once a week or twice a week, it's going to be so slow, your growing stage. It's going to be miserable. So like
Yeah.
being consistent and just really just like working your butt off is at the end of the day, you can have all these systems in place, but it matters about how you go about it. I mean, the biggest thing one of my mentors told me is like, do what you say you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do what you're not going to say you're going to do, you're not going to do it.
Absolutely.
So do a calendar. Hey, I'm going to go to the gym at 8 o'clock, but like, don't sleep in. Don't sleep till 9 o'clock. Do what you say you're going to do. And ever since, I mean, he sold his landscape business for multi-millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's probably the smartest mentor I know. And his biggest piece of advice is just like, do what you say you're going to do. I'm like, that's it. He's like, it's literally that simple. Do what you say you're going to do, and you'll be successful. So that's just the biggest piece of advice I can give. Is literally, I'll say what he's going to say. Do what you say you're going to do, and you'll realize how successful you can be. People are just afraid to take that leap and take that step over. Oh, well, like what happens if it fails? What am I going to do? It's just like, all right, what happens if you succeed? What are you going to do if you succeed? But I'm probably going to fail. It's like, all right, well, you always got to think like, what if? You know what I mean? It's always those big risk factors. And I always think about it as like, yeah, I'm a 20-year-old. I just bought a $50,000 truck. It's like, are you crazy? Like you're 20 years old and you just bought a $50,000 truck.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of money, but like that just pushes me harder to make more money. You know what I mean? To get the business going even more. It's like I think about taking all these risks and it's like, all right, like what happens if they fail? Okay, the bank takes them back, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to be dead. Okay, the business shuts down. Oh well, I'll get a job next week. I'll go work in the union. I'll do whatever I got to do. Like I'm at the point to where like I don't have a family yet. I have a girlfriend obviously, but like I don't have kids. I don't have my own house. I don't have a mortgage. So like I literally like what do I have to lose? I have nothing to lose except I don't know. We'll say 5 years of hard work that I've done. But I fail. I learned a lesson. I learned I can't do that. You know what I mean? So it's just like taking the risk and realizing at my stage, other people are different, obviously, but like I don't have anything to lose. So I'm gonna do all the smart decisions that'll help me grow my business to take me to the next level. And I've had many people tell me I'm absolutely crazy for what I'm doing, but I mean, I just say, hey, I'm glad you think that way. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm gonna be doing, and then hopefully it succeeds. And if it doesn't, you were right. But just kind of staying within myself. I'm a big religious guy, go to church and all this kind of thing. So he's helped me. He's really helped me make my decision. I have my family here. My girlfriend's really supportive. All my friends are really supportive. Like I don't have any friends that are like, dude, you're delusional, but they always love what I'm doing. Like I said, having the family support me through everything. My girlfriend support me through everything. And I just give all glory to God. I mean, I literally wouldn't be here if it was for him. Like I said, he made the decision for me on going full time with the business and kind of going away from that baseball side. So I'm extremely blessed and extremely grateful for everything I've earned and I've gotten in my life. And like I said, I always go back to him and I always will go back to him. So
yeah, praise God. That's awesome, man. Sounds like you got a lot of good stuff in place. I'm super excited for you. Thanks again for jumping on here. Man, best wishes on accomplishing all your goals into the next year. I think you got a lot of good things to look forward to.
I appreciate it. And I appreciate you taking this time. I think it's like 40 minutes to kind of let me just tell my story.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's my first time doing this and I couldn't be more happy, man. I wish I could do this more with more people, but doing this and realizing what it's actually like is freaking awesome, dude. This is amazing. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah. Love to be a part of it. So cool, man. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right.